Hello everybody, this is Mrtbrix, and my god, it has been at least a year since I did the last One Pound Gaming. So, where has it all come from? What's happened? Well, I've just been making remixes for the past year, so I've had no particular incentive to do this, but kind of felt like I should. So I've been amassing games, and hopefully I'll get stuff done on this channel. Obviously I have... If you've not seen the challenge I've set myself on my main channel, it's the Maximum Force Responder challenge, where I have to remix the entirety of Payday the Heist's soundtrack within a month, so that'll probably take up most of my time, but I'm taking some time to do this. Anyway, Ghostmaster. This game is quite an important game from my childhood, and I say it's important because it was one of the first games that I really got into, but not one of the ones I first finished. And I rebought it on Steam after about, I want to say 7 years, at least. And I finally decided to give it a go again. So I will just continue, and I'll explain what Ghostmaster is. For me, this is one of the definitive sim games, as in simulations. It was actually said to be a The Sims killer. So this is my current save, and for people who haven't played this game, you'll wonder, what are all of these? These are essentially missions, in a sense. So I will, I'll just pick a random mission. I've only actually seen... have I done that one? Oh, I must have done that one. Okay, so there's these two, and I will actually go back to... oh, damn it. Alright then, I guess I'll just keep going with this one, and you'll see the intro to the level as soon as this loads. Then I'll explain what you need to do for the actual gameplay.
The perky antics of the insufferable Kappa Lambda sorority house are excruciating at best. Ordinarily, they would be beneath our attention, but since your recent success terrifying the Alpha Tau fraternity, they have become strangely cautious. The sorority house recently accepted 3 new pledges as part of a plan to protect themselves against any future attacks from the spirit world. A coven of student witches. The mortals must not be encouraged to invite protection against us. Swift and decisive action is required. Drive the witches away from the sorority house.
So, if you're wondering what Ghostmaster is, well, I'll give you an explanation. Essentially, you build a team of ghosts. Here I will pick the recommended, because I'm not actually attempting to win this level. This is just for the purpose of the video. I'm going to do this in my own time, hopefully. But this is a team selection screen, and many of these ghosts you unlock via saving them in levels. So, for example, if I just find... where is she? There we are, Weather Witch here. She is the first ghost you can save in the first level of the game, and it involves freeing her from a vacuum cleaner, which requires a very, not extremely specific, but a certain series of actions to actually free her from it, and it gets harder and harder to free them. There's some in one of the levels that I have yet to complete, where you have to force certain humans to interact in certain ways, or for one to go away, that get scared off, but the other one to stay. So a lot of them need careful micromanagement of which ghost is where. And as for the ghosts themselves, I will show you what to do, so let's go haunt. So you can probably see the similarities to The Sims already. Not the same developer as far as I'm aware. I need to read up on the developer, I didn't actually do that. But all of these people here on the side, this is the status and the current amount of people in this building. And my current objective for this level is to just scare them all away. But some levels you need to do extra things, like there was a certain one called Dead Fellas where I had to just make everyone believe in ghosts, or the certain ones where you've got to not make people find certain objects without scaring them and then scare away people who come to stop them. So it's sort of, sometimes you've got to selectively scare people off. So here I just have to scare everyone away, which this is actually the same map as one of the first. No, the first, because Weather Witch is just down here. That's the radio I had to use to get her out. This is the first map, except there's more people and there's more ghosts to free. So if I go down here, we have Firetail, and if we click on him, he'll tell us his story.
They failed to dismiss me, so I remain enjoined in the fire of this brazier while it still burns.
So, as you can see, he explained his story essentially, and each story of a person, or a ghost rather, has a certain hint in it as to what you need to do. So there's two other ghosts here that are blacked out, which means we don't actually know how to get them or who they are. And if for scaring people away, say if I find, say these two people here, if I get Wendell, who strangely enough actually has been in contact with some of these people before, because these are recurring characters. If I place Wendell in this room, now they can't see him. Wendell is invisible at the moment. If I open his powers, I can make him do various things, all of which contribute to my... what is it called again? I've already forgotten. Plasma, it's right there. Or plasm. It's my plasm bar up here. If that runs out, if the amount I'm using gets higher than the amount available, then it will start to drain, and if it drains too far, I fail the level. You can also fail if all your ghosts get captured, which can only happen in certain circumstances. So, if I go to orders and say only use powers if mortals are present, and condition C, right, Wendell powers, and set it to maximum. He will then start using various powers, but only when people are present. So here we get to see Wendell chase people. So she's already fainted because of Wendell. Wendell made the woman there faint, but apparently they can't see him. So I'm not sure if that's meant to happen, or if maybe he's only selectively showing himself somewhere. So I'll bench Wendell now that she is unconscious, and I can go to any person, say Hell and High Water, and open up a bio, which shows her mood and then her fears if you manage to find a way to expose them, her terror, her madness, and how much she believes in ghosts, all of which have different factors on what happens when you fill them up. And I can go to point of view, which lets me see from her point of view, along with a heart rate that increases as they get more terrified or closer to madness. So, for example, this man is wearing headphones, and that is an electric haunt, or what is called a haunt. A haunt is essentially an object rather than a room that a ghost can be attached to. So I can bind this ghost, called Electrospasm, who is a man in an electric chair, to the headphones. Can then set Electrospasm to spark and cut lights, which will mean that Electrospasm will follow this man around and continually turn off the lights and create sparks in his headphones. That's one of the only examples of a moving haunt, but I can do things such as, let's see, air. This is Whisper Wind, who can do things only in outside areas or if there's an air-related object, or Banzai, who can attach himself to only earth or plants. So bind Banzai to the plant and make him create creepers, which will spawn vines. Now, the plasma bar up here increases as more people are scared, so it's already gone up a little bit, which means that I can then allow Banzai to do a little bit more, so he can use twisted vines, and I will rebind him to this plant because it's closer to this room. In fact, it's in this room, and that will create vines that didn't read what that said. Threatening vines grow on the walls. Now, not all of them have visual effects. For example, only a couple of vines have actually spawned. Some of them don't have visual effects at all, it's just an animation. But I'm going to his point of view to see the humans. And if I go downstairs, again there is Firetail. So look at Karen's point of view, I can obviously see her walking through the room. Don't know how to save Whisperwind because it says I need... hang on. If I just bench people, see, water. I have a written answer. Banzai can go on earth, and Whisperwind can go on air. And if I proceed to do Quake, haha, broken the circle.
Now is the time to strike.
I thank you, kind entity. Though I now refuse to answer the incantations of mortals, I will gladly aid your struggle.
So as you can see, the chain on his leg disappeared. I now have control of Whisperwind, and Whisperwind will proceed to stay as a member of my team, potentially. If I chose him. Forever. And he counts as an extra for this mission, or this haunting. So Whisperwind doesn't need to actually be... Ooh, hang on. Ooh. Whisperwind doesn't actually need the count with the people I've got, so if I have a maximum size team, any ghosts I unlock count as extras, so they don't take up that space. Ooh. Oh, that's because it's... there we go. So, this is pretty much all I have to say, and this game... oh my god. Things just got a little bit more grim. Anyway, bench. So you saw the exclamation mark there. That is when one of your ghosts has been discovered, and somebody has a way of removing that ghost. So she is a medium. So if I go into her point of view, she will discover ghosts that use higher level powers and potentially banish them or capture them. Like I said before, all their ghosts captured equals the end of the level. So I know I've not shown much off, but there isn't really that much else to show off, but it's a brilliant game. It's got a nice sense of humour, and well, there's not much to really say about it apart from that. It is essentially, it lets you torture Sims. It is a Sim torturer. Not sure how easy it is to mod it. I've heard that modding is quite common, but I'm not sure obviously how easy it is. But if you like The Sims and you like being cruel to The Sims, you can you should check this out, because you can actually get it on Steam. It's on sale quite often. I got it for a very low price, I think. And it is genuinely really fun to play. I can't think of any issues with it. Maybe the only issue I can think of is that there is a sudden difficulty spike, and a lot of the ghosts require a guide, but there is plenty of Steam guides available for you to use anyway. So any problem with it can now be rectified just by looking things up. So yeah, I would recommend checking this out. And I know this hasn't been the best review. It's not been, the most thrilling or the most in-depth, but I'm continuing the series. I'm getting things done. Oh my god, Firetail, I love you. And I want to see if Firetail will get captured, because then I can actually demonstrate it. maybe. There's good old Banzai there, who I actually found completely by accident. There was no hints to him, he didn't appear or anything. I just, on a certain level, I bound another earth type to a plant, and Banzai turned up. So there is some... see, scared someone off. That means they've run out of the map and can't be interacted with anymore, and they never come back as far as I'm aware. I don't know if that'll turn up later. But yeah, check it out and maybe get it on Steam if there's a sale on and you've got extra money in your wallet. It's really cheap. As far as I remember, it was only about 30 pence, which is... not sure how much that is in dollars. I know it's been a year and I had time to try and work this out since US Most Wanted Nowhere to Hide, but I never did. So yeah, if you feel like you're wanting to torture Sims but you're bored of using pools with no ladders in, then check it out, and I guess I will see you in the next time I continue this series, or whatever else I do. Bye.